Blakey, Teague and Sinclair off half-back, the Roos have the potential to launch attack after attack from inside their own defensive half.
Both sides have explosive midfields that, when on song, can set up and score goals in a hurry. The Demons have been well served by Adam Uze, Shane Woden, Andrew Leoncelli, Travis Johnston, Stephen Powell and Nathan Brown this season. Uze in particular was sensational when these two teams met for the only time this season. That was back in round 9, and Uze picked up 33 possessions, including the winning goal in the dying seconds of his 150th game.
So therefore the ruck duel will be pivotal. The mobile, athletic, high-leaping Jeff White and Darren Jolly against the height of Matthew Burton, the strength of Mark Porter. The Kangaroos are also blessed with match winners in the midfield, the likes of Brent Harvey, David King, Simpson, Grant. If they can get first hands on the ball for the Kangaroos, they'll be well on track to keeping their season alive as well.
But I think the crucial end of the ground may well be up forward for the Kangaroos. Melbourne have been decimated by injuries to their tall defenders. Nicholson, Ellis, Broadbridge, all sidelined for the rest of the season. All three were in action in round 9 last time they met, but even then Severio Rocker dominated up forward to finish with 4 goals.
And Rocker has marking support as well in the form of Digby Morrell and Corey Jones, as well as lethal support at ground level, the likes of Byron Pickett, Lee Harding and Brent Harvey. Those three crummers in particular have combined for 98 goals this season, which is a fantastic return. So the Melbourne defence will need to be razor sharp once the ball hits the deck as well.
Absolutely. Well, it's all or nothing for both these sides this afternoon. The winner progresses to the semi-finals, while it's curtain for the loser in 2002.
Who will live to fight another day? Let's find out as we head to the MCG for the second elimination final between Melbourne and the Kangaroos. You're watching it right here on Fox Footy.
The Roos coming onto the ground.
Yes, and I wonder if he'll be wearing Glenn Archer, the captain, a protective vest.
Well, he's an inspiration, Glenn Archer. Let's get down to Brad McEwen and Steve Silvani on the boundary line.
Yeah, thanks, Anthony. Just look at the look in Glenn Archer's face. He's going out there to win. The Kangaroos want to win this one. So much experience in this finals team, Sauce. But nerves, what kind of a role do they play?
It's a huge game today. It's a finals game. Doesn't matter how many games you've played finals footy, there's always a bit of nerves there. But Dennis Pagan's got a great saying. He says, keep it simple and do the basics well. That's how the Kangaroos play their footy.
Yeah, look, Glenn Archer over there. They're about to run out. A lot of the players going over, patting him on the back. He's back. They know he's injured, but it means so much for this team to have Glenn Archer leading them out.
No question. He's inspirational. If he is injured, there's more likelihood than not that he's had a jab in those ribs just to put a bit of damper on his soreness, but we know the way Glenn Archer play. He'll play with 100%.
OK, thanks, Sauce. Anthony, if it's late round 9, we're in for a cracker.
Absolutely, it was a fantastic finish to that game. What about Archer? What will the Demons' tactics be on him, do you think, Robert?
Well, no doubt he's got sore ribs. He was kneed heavily in the ribs a couple of weeks ago. He missed last week. I think test him out at your own peril because he's a strong presence and I'm sure he could play with plenty of pain. I just wonder whether they'll start Archer at fullback on Neitz or let Mick Martin have a go at Neitz first.
Well, it looks like the moment has arrived for the Demons. They're not far away from coming down. There's the man we've been talking so much about. There's Robbins on screen as well. You touched on him. Dennis Pagan would love him, wouldn't he?
Oh, yes. He's the fellow with the tracksuit on there. He just does the tagging jobs week in, week out, and he's able to get plenty of ball himself. John Blakey in picture on the left, just going out of picture.
Been a great story. We saw him get knocked out here back in about round 7 against Hawthorn, and he looked like his days were numbered.
Yes, well, 36 years of age, John Blakey.
And here's David Neitz. Look at him leading proudly this Melbourne team out onto the MCG. It's a great sight, those famous old races, the famous old rooms at the MCG, and the Demons coming out for their first final since the grand final, back when they got beaten by Essendon in 2000. Let's get down to Christy Malthouse and another experienced finals campaigner, Peter Dacos.
Thanks, Anthony. Well, they've just run past us. Peter, you saw them in the rooms. How did they look?
Well, very steely stare from a lot of the Demon players. I was up there a little bit earlier, very quiet in the rooms. I suppose they'd be feeling the nerves, but this is what it's like. As a player, all you want to do is get out on the ground, take it all in, get your first touch, and as a team, kick your first goal.
The conditions, pretty swirly wind. How do you expect that to affect the game?
Well, I think it won't affect the Roos because the Roos are long and direct. I think, if anything, it may affect the Demons a little bit because they try and pinpoint passes. So, again, it'll be just a great game. I'm looking forward to it.
Great, thanks, Anthony.
OK, the Demons are out on the ground. The Kangaroos are out on the ground. We're all set for the start of this second elimination final. We'll take a break as we get ready for the bounce of the ball.
How do you get on with your coach?
Yeah, great.
You're joking.
It's the Monday Expert.
Yeah, probably. Both teams are like that. You know, the focus has been other games, but we'll soon find out.
Now, you said it's leadership that's got you to the finals. It's important to have a lot of that out there today.
Yeah, look, the skipper's been fantastic, but come finals time, you need leaders on every line. And the boys have done the job, in the home and away to get us here, and we're going to need them to do it today.
Now, Jeff White, big job against Porter and Burton today.
Yeah, it's always, the midfield just have a huge bearing on all these games, and we're hoping Whitey can get us going.
Thanks, Neil. Good luck, Anthony.
Neil Danaher in charge of the Demons this afternoon as both sides make their way across to the southern side of the ground and get ready to stand for the national anthem. And as we've been doing all weekend, also paying tribute to the late, great Dick Reynolds. Good crowd building up here at the MCG, not far away from a start.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Australian Football League and its premier partner Carlton, brewed since 1864, welcome you to the MCG for today's elimination final. As we stand for the national anthem, let us remember Australian football legend, triple Brownlow medalist and Essendon champion, Dick Reynolds.
Love to be out there. The last game of the first weekend of finals, David Meeks leads the Demons into battle against this Kangaroos side who've had such a tumultuous year. Glenn Archer, Lee Colbert, John Blakey, Shannon Grant, Brent Harvey. Such experience out there. And this Demon team who have been up one week and down the next throughout the year as well. Very hard to predict what will happen. Glenn Archer's going to kick to the right of screen after winning the toss. Robert Walls, Stephen Silvani and Peter Dacos. They've all been there before, out on the MCG in September, and experienced what must be football's great moments. And gentlemen, who's going to win this afternoon?
Well, I've tipped the Demons, but not with a lot of confidence. It's so important they get off to a good start. They don't usually start well, and I'm sure Dennis Pagan will really be aggressive at them, have his players aggressive at them in the first 15 minutes.
Well, I picked the Kangaroos. I think that they play a basic game all season. When their backs have been against the wall, they've won those games, and I don't think it's any different today.
Dakes?
Well, I just don't think there's anything in the game. Evenly matched both teams, and if you're trying to pick little bits and pieces, there's one man on screen, Brent Harvey. Is he carrying a shoulder? I expect the Dooms to certainly test him, Archer, and then you consider Savrocca bringing in that question mark over his knee.
Well, last time, of course, it was decided by kicks right near the siren. Rocker kicked a goal, and then Uze kicked one for the Demons, and it was such a close call. Who knows? We might even get extra time this afternoon.
Well, again, Jeff White just so important. Spider Burton, wonderful year. And you have, and we make mention every week, the most important thing of any football team to make up is their midfield. And we will have a great game. If the Roos go too negative out of the midfield, I don't know if there's a lot of players around those players to take up the slack. Very good in the midfield and with their running game, the Demons.
We're underway from the MCG, the second elimination final. White to Johnston, great start for the Demons. Pressure on Shannon Grant, you saw it there. Ball out onto the members' wing. Godfrey, who no doubt will have a big tagging role this afternoon. High tackle. And Johnston, who's already had a couple of touches of the footy.
Martin has picked Neitz up.
Getting it in quickly. This is Powell. We know he's a penetrating kick. He goes for his captain. It might still get there. Neitz. Mock. The cavalry arrived pretty quickly. Good support around Uze. The danger man this afternoon along with Needs. Woden! And he's paid it.
Geez, he had the perfect fly in, Hunter. You called it. He had his eyes on the ball. He came from the back and the side. And I just didn't know whether he held it long enough. It's been paid. Good kick by Uze, Steve, right into the middle of the goal square, and we'll see where Woden come from the side, and that is a great mark.
Well, as a forward, that's where you want it. An unexpected kick to the top of the square. As a defender, you hate it, but as a forward, it's predictable.
Well, he's kicked 11 goals, 8 for the year, but he's kicked a goal in each of the last 4 matches for the Demons. So he's finding the middle at the moment, and the Demons have made the perfect start. One goal for Melbourne. The Roos yet to score after the opening minute.
Well, I don't know if they're great starters, the Demons, but what a dream start. Neats straight at the ball, gang tackled in the end, and the Demons able to get it in. And I suppose with the blustery conditions, we've seen enough times here at the G, the third man up or the player behind a pack of players will end up with the ball. And as we made mention, out of the middle, so important. And early touches for Johnston. Woden, Jeff White supplying. Powell was in there also. It'll come down. Powell and the Demons into attack again. Inside 50, loose ball. Players come out cold, but did beautifully. Plenty of time as well. Left Demon players in his wake. Long, we were into attack. Petrie, I don't know what he was trying to do. Powell with another touch. Can go again. He'll get it back. Stolen beautifully, Brent Harvey. So important, the Roos. Rocker. No, dropped it. Second bite, Lamb does well. Has to keep it in front. Trouble now. It'll kept low, and Morrell. I know he was looking for Kickett. It's a minor score, and the Roos first score of the game.
Well, Pickett was free. Morrell failed to kick the goal, but he did have Pickett in the goal square.
So Bizzle, who's been a great success story for the Demons this year. Brown, there was a question mark over his fitness. Poor handball, makepeace in unusual territory. And good interception from Uze.
Just so important that they watch Makepeace. He does set the Demons, the Roos up.
And now he's within range here, Sam.
Well, he could kick a drop punt that far, but a torpedo with a shiny, slippery ball is a hard ask. He's gone the percentage to the top of the square.
Goes for Petrie, yes! Big Drew Petrie, who started last week on fire against West Coast, and he's done it again so far today.
Predictable football, Steve, isn't it? It's what the Kangaroos do. Big sap. He put the ball to a dangerous spot, to a tall option. The Kangaroos would have had the small players running underneath in case it hit the deck. We see just the long kick for position. And Petrie able to take the mark, and Kangaroo players all around in case it hit the deck.
Kicked 2 goals too last week, Drew Petrie.
They had plenty of time too, Sauce, to get back and get that ball away.
So the Kangaroos answer. Terrific start. Bright start from both sides. The Roos 1-1, the Demons 1 straight.
And the kick by Rocker, obviously his confidence will do wonders after getting an early touch, but the kick high to the square, as Rob said, predictable, and we know about the Kangaroos crummers, will be at the fall of the ball.
So Neil Danaher would have been a little bit disappointed with that one. Rocker sits the ball in the air. 2 Demon players, defenders, fly, and Petrie still comes up with it. The Roos have their first goal, and with that, have that 1-point lead. Pretty good start in the game. Burton, down to Simpson, across the ground we go. Grant will run onto it, shepherded beautifully by his teammates. Robbins has won. Jones was in the area. Brent Harvey will take it. They need to stop this guy. He'll be shepherded, and he'll keep running, Brent Harvey. He'll drill it, and that's a good kick. Morrell takes it. Kangaroos have started well. He goes in long, and it goes to the left. Minor score. Good movement of the ball from the Roos, and they're 1-2. The Demons 1 straight.
Already you see the pattern of play by the Kangaroos. They get the ball on quickly and nice and direct.
So Wheatley to bring it in for Melbourne.
He loves doing the old 1-2, Brent Harvey. They will give it back to him.
Lamb and Bizzle the targets. Bizzle worked his way to position. Makepeace, as we mentioned, with a roll further up the ground today. Corey Jones, who was in good marking form last week. The ball over the line.
Just two small errors by Bizzle. Twice he's gone for the fly and twice he hasn't sport the ball whilst he's been behind.
Robbins going with Woden. Powell trying to take Robbins.
Opens up here for the Roos. Great combination. Shannon Grant hasn't been in as good goal-kicking form this year as he has in previous years, and he really needs that for his confidence. He's been down a bit this year, Shannon Grant.
Yeah, they set that play up well at the boundary throw-in. They had plenty of players away from the goals, the Kangas. That's where the ball was hit, and then they fed it with a series of handballs and opened up that shot at goal. So they'd be disappointed. Johnny Blakey just in picture. He's running with Adamuze.
So Bizzle, responsibility, bump ball, mulched it beautifully, took it cleanly, and then out wide. Jeff White, and this is what they need him doing. Not only across that half-back line, further up the ground. That's a beautiful kick. Bruce will take it. Demons are into half-forward. Has a player inboard. Godfrey slipped over Bruce. Back up, and it was smothered in the end. Didn't allow himself the room. And Sav Rocker a long way from home. He was the player to take that ball over the line.
And good effort by Sav Rocker. He manned the mark with some purpose, so there's a chance of him actually smothering the ball.
Gary Ayres and Mark Micken looking on. The winner today plays Adelaide next week.
So Grant does well, keep the body over the ball. Archer goes in. Good test for Archer. It's a free to the Demons in danger. Robertson will take it.
Robertson is opposed by Archer, and we'll see the ball on the ground, and umpire's kicking in danger. So that's the second time.
Yeah, Godfrey not giving himself enough time. Uze, you're wrapped up. No time whatsoever. Colbert and Aruz through Burton out of danger. Into the air. Running. Lamb was there. Woden actually trying to take it. Sinclair, you're in trouble. Jones did well to keep it out in front of himself. Bruce has front position, and the boundary doesn't win out. Robbins, it is all Melbourne here. Lamb supplies in. Varney will jump from behind Burton. All important front position.
Good ruck support, getting back to help the defenders, Spider Burton.
Yes, he had a good ride. The only problem was the tallest man in the AFL was in front. Petrie right up the ground. Here's Sinclair's given them that dash off half-back in the last 6 weeks or so. He really has resurrected his career. The Kangaroos won 3. The Demons won straight.
Mickey Martin, as Steve said, starting on David Neitz. If that doesn't work, I would think Archer would be moved on to Neitz.
Ben Robbins looks in trouble for the Roos. He's limping at the moment.
Powell couldn't get onto it. David King brought down straight away by his opponent, Daniel Ward. Frees up Vardy, and they can team up nicely, although Powell wasn't ready for the Godfrey handball. Woden being watched by Robbins, who guides the kick, looking for Pickett. Really, it was a bit of an aimless kick, though. White, Brown.
Good hands.
Vardy. Byron was closing in, and you've got to get rid of it quickly when he's about. Godfrey, it opens up for the Demons. Here's the lead from Neitz, but he goes shorter. And Russell Robertson turned his opponent inside out, third Archer, and can straighten up from just on the cusp of 50.
Well, the reason Robertson got that ball, Archer was all set to get back and support Martin, so he fell off Robertson. Robertson was free.
Yeah, and that's an important one, Steve, isn't it? Not to always go to Neitz.
Important for Robertson's confidence that he convert early, but he's missed.
Lets him down, he's kicking.
Kicked 29 goals so far this year, Russell Robertson.
Gets a lot of opportunity, but doesn't tend to put it away. Harvey kicking into Blakey. A little bit of room, moves off, and out of side we go. Sitter Simpson couldn't mark it. Well done, Robertson gives a contest. Archer mopping up and hands off to Robbins. They share it around. Simpson in support. Grant dummies one and moves in. 15 from goal. It's a mark. Yeah. Rocker beautifully watching the ball, the Demon players, and it was the wind in the end that sat it up, and Rocker, under no pressure, takes a good mark.
Well, it's a big job for young Lamb. Rocker, a big man, very strong, and the Roos play it to him to perfection, nice and high, where Rocker can jump for the ball, and once he's jumped and he's got those arms upstretched, he's very hard to stop.
Well, if Big Sav kicks this one, it will be his 50th goal for the year. Again, a long kick to a predictable spot.
Well, directly in front, not a problem. 25 from goal, and it isn't. Sav Rucker has his first, Roos have their second. So the confidence should be up for Big Sav. The early goal, much needed in finals football, and Sav finishes off.
Well, it has been a good start for Sav. Obviously, the question mark with that knee injury, we all know that Sav's a confidence player, but he's got off to the start he wanted to, and that is a nice, strong grab.
Good sign from the Roos. They shared it beautifully to get that in.
And that's Sav Rocker's 50th goal for the year. So the Roos have made a very positive start. Big job for Chris Lamb this afternoon. Burton giving them first use, but Johnston reading it excellently. Getting them moving now. Ward inside 50. It's a pretty crowded forward line. Robertson working Archer over. Blakey in support though. Collaborating well with Sinclair. He's got Grant on the wing, but he missed his target, just didn't get enough on it. And Adam Uze drags it in for the Demons and goes searching for Robertson with the run. Well, he was going for the spectacular there. And the boundary line, the result.
Hutto, you said he's gone for the spectacular, and I reckon that's okay in the forward line. You don't want to do it all the time, but you've got to let fly. You've got to have a go at it.
It's a bit hit and miss, isn't it, with Russell Robertson, but it's spectacular when it comes off. Here he is again involved.
Tell you what, you'll have to be pretty good in the conditions, with the swirly conditions, to be able to take a mark like that, Rob.
Yeah, that's right. Not a good day, is it, to be going for hangers all the time, but still his coach encourages him to do that. Francis Burke in picture. And he's Tiger great.
Yeah, his son David, of course, on the Kangaroos list, but has failed to make an impression this year. Another ball up.
Rob, just looking at the Kangaroos forward line, not one player inside their forward 50 at the moment. The only player that's close is Severio Rocker.
Yeah, and he's about 60 metres. Is that the old Pagans paddock?
That is actually, but what we will know is that the small on balls will get to the fall of the ball and run onto the ball.
Walsh, his vigorous tackling, a real feature of his game.
Jeff White also at the moment across the half forward line off screen. Naturally cross half forward for the Roos, so he's sitting back. He's a long way from the play.
Yeah, well, obviously they're playing Jeff White as the extra man in front of Sav Rocker.
He's too far back, far back. 2 kicks behind it. He's no use to anyone there.
Burton, out to Simpson. Makepeace, and now Harvey. Loves to bounce the ball. He's #1 at it in the AFL. And you can see why along the wing, guiding it to Byron Pickett. Wouldn't the Roos love to have Byron up and running? Just adjusting the kit for Rocker again. The Sav again doesn't go for the long ball. Running out of defence was T. All Demons though. Armstrong along the boundary line. Green and now Bruce. More promising build-up. Vardy was the only target. Surrounded by 2 Kangaroos. That's got to be 50, doesn't it?
Gee, it's a good kick by Bruce, running at full tilt.
Armstrong on for the Demons, jolly off, so they're going with a small.
And here he is again, young Armstrong. He had a great match last week, kicked 3 goals, so he can find it. Needs over Martin. Well done, Mickey.
Yeah, and Lee Colbert getting back to help out Mick Martin. As you said, Steve, I reckon the Kangaroo defenders would have been instructed, get back and help Mick whenever you can.
There's no doubt about that. Mick Martin's playing Neats quite differently. He's actually not getting body contact on Neats. He's actually playing him 4 or 5 metres in front.
So Colbert has it, hugging the boundary member's side. Bomb in the air, pretty predictable. Burton. White had the sit and went up. Possibly got just a fingertip to it. Woden goes in. That's where they want a lot of their on-ballers, the Demons, certainly, and that's where they have to win possession, because the Roos, that's where you'll find the Roo players. So ball up.
Uze's gone for a bit of a spell in the forward line, and Jeff White in picture, setting himself for this ruck contest, often gets way behind the play to help his defenders.
So Burton won it, Blakey kicked it, and Nathan Brannell taken, then went off. Handballs at Jeff White through the traffic. You're in trouble, Godfrey, but he's good enough to get a hand off. Shocking handball from Armstrong, no chance for Wheatley. Out wide, and the Roos are on the march. Grant with oodles of room. He's just outside 50. Will keep it low. Severio Rocker, well done, Lamb. He'll push to the boundary, and Sav's in trouble.
Yeah, Sav done the knee.
Yeah, he's hurt all right.
So off half back, great kick from Ward, and the Demons with a chance. Armstrong looks up, little bit of time, needs the sit. No, dropped it on the way down. Has a chance now, arms are clear, over the head of Powell. Numbers still with the Demons, Green. Back to Bruce, positioning spot on. He did it beautifully. The space was his, and he found Armstrong.
Well, a little bit of trouble with Kangaroos because Big Sav, when he went for that ball, it was a poor kick by Grant. Should have been a goal. He was forced to go sideways and then sprint. He's had the knee problem.
Almost collapsed on him.
Yep.
Well, he trained better than they thought early in the week, but apparently Thursday night he just looked a little proppy. Did a fair bit of work on it on Tuesday, so it'll be interesting to see if it can hold up. He's staying out there at the moment.
Well, the first thing Lamb has to do is run him up the ground. Armstrong with a chance. That is a beautiful kick. That's what the Demons are looking for. So starting the game on the bench, Stephen Armstrong has his first, and the lead is cut back to 2 points.
And having a pretty good first quarter, already 6 disposals, and this goal, well, beautiful kick here by Bruce. Pinpointed it between 2 North Melbourne players or Kangaroo players, and Armstrong converts truly.
Robert, the Roos have had troubles with small forwards last week. Phil Matera kicked 6 goals. They tried 4 different opponents on him, so it'll be interesting to see how they match up.
I think the Melbourne forwards line is much better with Jolly off the ground and Armstrong on.
Here's a chance for David King, running backwards though. Archer. Oh, he got cleaned up after he kicked it. We'll see that all day, no doubt. Makepeace up the ground today. He's watching Powell. This is Harvey. Woden, his man at the moment. Oh, Teague. Abysmal effort, but he followed up nicely. Oh, his second effort was no better. And suddenly it opens up for the Demons. A gaping hole. It's centre half forward, and Daniel Ward will run into it and go for goal. And miss. Oh, it's coming back. Well enough.
Gee, the tee kick was disappointing, Dakes. And if you make a mistake at this level in finals, you'll get hurt. It'll be rebounded straight back over your head.
They should have been hurt, Rob, on that occasion, really. And it... in the last few minutes, really, Melbourne will make the Roos pay. And what I like about the Demons, they're trying to make the Roos chase them at the moment. Blakey, hands off Grant. Over the top, Archer has room. Confronted by Bruce. Archer should get to the ball. Bruce makes sure he gets into him. So that's the second time Archer's been tested.
Well, he did it well, Bruce, though. Didn't execute the tackle quite well, but he did make Archer earn it.
So Grant, plenty of room. Demons have to watch him. He's starting to look dangerous. He'll have a shot from 40, and he misses.
It's 3 shots at goal that Shannon Grant's had, and 2 for a behind, and 1 didn't even make the distance. So we know he's a class player. He's just down a bit in confidence at the moment.
Asking for trouble when you leave Grant on his own.
Cameron Bruce takes the mark. Oh, another mistake. Great work from Petrie. I think he laid 4 or 5 tackles last week, so he does the hard things as well as kicking a couple of goals. The Kangaroos 2-4-16, Melbourne 2-2-14. We expected a close struggle, and so far that's exactly what we've got. Grant again involved, Simpson surrounded by Demons, Lian-Shelley and now Johnston, who's having a bit of an impact on this game so far. Strides away with his 4th possession. Colbert. Big spider through the middle of the ground. It's a fairly crowded Kangaroos forward line. Makepeace can go short to Rocker, no longer to Byron Pickett. One-on-one, deep. Nathan Brown, there was a fitness question over him. What a big job on Byron Pickett. Pickett takes it over the line. It's an interesting one, Robert, that one. Nathan Brown on Byron Pickett.
Yes, and I wouldn't be surprised if they put Pickett up near the goals just with his superior size and strength and try to get him to outmark Brown.
So the Roos in attack. White, Uze, Brad Green, Colbert, Burton, Lamb, they're all involved. Ward, Makepeace. Lee Colbert found a path, but it wasn't a path to goal, although Petrie...
He's got it.
Yeah, he's got it, Drew Petrie, right on the line.
Gee, I don't think Wheatley worked hard enough to put a fist on that.
Looked like he was trying to body him. He's found someone. Guess who? On his own. How could you leave Brent Harvey alone and unattended in the forward pocket?
There were 2 poor passages of play, really, by the Melbourne defenders. Just there, just needed to work harder back on his body. Had he pushed his body a little bit harder, the ball probably would have been out of bounds. And here, the unmanned Harvey.
I think he's tagging Harvey, Steve, and just too loose on him there.
I think Wheatley was expecting the ball to go on the full.
Yeah, and you just can't expect that, can you? You just got to get there and put a fist on it.
So Brent Harvey, who so far this year has kicked 29 goals, 12. It's a fairly potent forward line when they're all up and about. And Brent Harvey is up and about for the Roos. 3-4-22 the Kangaroos. Melbourne at 2-2-14.
Well, you ask yourself, Brent Harvey so dangerous, Shannon Grant so dangerous, yet Rob, they've been able to get on plenty of space, and in the end you're asking for trouble.
Well, Shannon Grant's had 8 disposals in this first quarter, playing mainly as a midfielder. He's in for this all-important centre bounce.
So Roos out by 8 points again. Jeff White and Burton. Burton hasn't been too bad. Jeff White down. Godfrey over the ball, and we end up with another bounce.
I think Godfrey's been moved on to Harvey. Now, he's probably their best tagger, Simon Godfrey, a young fella, very fit. Walsh is now back on him, so Ducks and Drakes there.
Stephen Armstrong, who came on, kicked that last goal, has taken Jess Sinclair back to the goal square. So important. It's one thing to win a possession the 4 line. It's the other thing to stop Jess Sinclair from running out. It's a huge thump. It's inside 50 now for the Demons. King didn't have it, and it's looked upon that way. So David King comes up with it. Archer runs behind. He decides to kick. Makepeace will take it. Bit of time onto that left foot. He'll take a bounce, balances up, and then into Bizzle with a sit. Should jump. Not able to mark it.
Third time he's done that.
And should have thumped that away, possibly. By Woden to Brown. Out the other side go to Demons. Wheatley dropped it in the end. Gave it to Petrie. So fumbles at the moment for Melbourne. Out of danger. Wheatley forward to the ball. Takes a mark.
Wheatley combining with Nathan Brown. Bizzle. Been in defence all year. Really gave Neitz no hope. And Makepeace able to take the relieving mark.
Well, got back and supported for Michael Martin.
Well, they're all trying to help him, aren't they? He's had 7 possessions, Troy Makepeace. Simpson turning onto his left and searching for Harvey again. Woden just in the nick of time. And he was going for Godfrey, who's running with Simpson. Simpson able to shrug the tackle.
Went to ground.
Is it a free kick? No.
Well, we'll have another ruck contest. 11-4 in favour of Melbourne. The ruck contests have been. So Porter's been brought on. They've got 2 ruckmen on at the moment, the Kangaroos. Spider Burton, who'll contest this one. Porter, who's pushed onto the ground in place of Pickett. Porter's gone to full forward.
Yeah, trying to create a mismatch down there. At the moment, his opponent is Nathan Brown. So we'll see this come into play as the Roos going to attack. Just bomb it high, Jess. It didn't quite make the distance as far as Porter was concerned. And Morrell just found it too difficult.
And just on the hit-out contest, Rob, Jeff White has got 7 of those 11.
Yeah, he's rucked well.
Tony Liberatore, another interested onlooker this afternoon.
So the Roos have it inside, or just outside 50, inside their forward scoring zone. The Demons should pick them off. Nathan Brown does, and out wide, 2 against 1. Nearly favoured Rocker. He has it now. Did well through the traffic. Petrie turns around, and without really looking glazed away, Woden, can he keep it in? Takes it, hands off to Uze. Short in front of the members, he finds Wheatley. Demons now trying to run and really starting to get themselves in a bit of trouble, a lot of trouble. Lamb, Wheatley, both of them are gone. Robbins does beautifully. Bruce over the head of Johnston. It's coming back.
Legged.
Yeah, it'll be a Melbourne free kick. Gee, they got into trouble there, Dakes. And I've just kept an eye on Big Sap. He's really struggling. He's on Lamb. Lamb's running him around, as you suggested. And just caught round the knee there, Cameron Bruce.
Uze, normally good. Vardy has got it. Has to come back. They're really playing into the Roos' hands when you start overusing the ball, especially in traffic. they're forever giving a contest and more times than not dispossess the opposition.
Powell back on for the Demons, Leon Chally off, so rotating the midfielders.
So Neitz starts behind now, works to the front. Martin with the sit. And Neitz nearly got it in the end. Makepeace through the traffic, did well to just bomb it out. Nothing fancy about that one. Nathan Brown did well to run back, and then the execution poor. Petrie didn't have it off the ground. Harding, Petrie will get it. In the back, as called.
Gee, up forward, they've got Porter against Cameron Bruce.
Porter, Bizzle, does well to go back, dropped it. Good enough to go back onto it. Nathan Brown on that left foot, and he'll find Uzo.
I don't think there's any doubt Dennis Pagan's trying to stretch the Melbourne defence. He's got the three tools on, Rob.
Yeah.
Burton, Porter and also Rocker.
Problem is, I guess, if the ball hits the ground, isn't it? You've got a big lumbering forward line and the Demons can run it out of defence. Morrell, Bizzle.
Yeah, you look at that forward line, you're right, there's Morrell, Petrie, Sav Rocker and now Porter, but poor old Sav can hardly move.
So Bizzle with the Demons down by a goal. They are notoriously bad starters, the Demons, this year, but they've certainly come home with a flourish. They had to do it last week against St Kilda. 25 seconds remaining in the opening term.
Forward of this football, the Roos have bottled up the Demons.
Well, as they often do, they just push the whole team down about 60 metres and they all set out in their positions and crowd it up.
No one able to break free for the Demons because the Roos are going man on man.
Ward up to half forward. Robertson, is there time for a Melbourne goal? There's your answer. So, quarter time. The Kangaroos 3-4. Melbourne 2-2. Steve, what did you make of the first quarter?
Well, as expected, a pretty hard-fought equal first quarter. Certainly both sides at times had control of that game, but full credit to the Kangaroos. I thought they played the better footy. They are causing the Demons a little bit of problem with their tools up forward, but nothing really in it.
Yes, they're giving them a lot to think about, and I wonder how Neil Danaher will respond in the second quarter. His team trailing by a goal as we take our first break.
Following your club on Fox Footy Channel is as easy as 8.
And straight away, the Kangaroos going forward. Robbins to centre half forward. Good strong body work by Clint Bizzle. He followed it up too. But the Kangaroos again, Petrie, very good to dish the hands off. That time he missed his target. Has to go in again and try and lock it in for the Roos.
And for Kangaroos fans, Sav Rocker remains out on the ground. His knee was retaped at quarter time.
Let's get quickly down to Brad McEwen and Christy Malthouse.
Yeah, Anthony, Sav Rocker, the Roos medical staff working feverishly on his knee, rubbing ointment in. They've retaped it. The good news is he's still out there.
And for Melbourne, Nathan Brown got a bit of attention there during the break on his hamstring, but he's looking okay.
Gee, that's a bonus for the Kangaroos, Steve, isn't it? Because the big fella's under sufferance there. He's had the knee re-bandaged, and it just means that Lamb has to take responsibility and play close to the big fella because he's already kicked one. If he gets another, Lamb just cannot afford to run and create off him.
Well, spot on there, Rob. And this is just a good side for the Kangaroos because there's no question this fella's under a bit of duress, but he's happy to do it for his teammates.
Well, he promised Dennis Pagan he'd be back for the finals. I wonder if he promised he'd kick a certain number of goals. I'm sure he'll be hoping for 4 or 5 this afternoon. The wonky knee, and he's just missed it away to the right. It'll be interesting to see how it affects his kicking, I suppose, if he does take the mark.
There's Brent Harvey in picture there. He's onto his third opponent. Started on Walsh, then had Godfrey. Now he's got James McDonald. So causing real headaches, Harvey.
Bizzle will bring it in.
Obviously, you were vitally interested, Sauce. Thanks for that.
Well, with Sav, especially with that right foot, it's his kicking foot. So Burton sits back to mark. Has players in the corridor, can go to Makepeace, decides to go to the square. Brent Harvey's down there, he's lurking. Travis Johnson, they need to run the Demons at the moment. Just bombing in the air. Powell with a little bit of room, has to move. He turns around and just bombs in long. So they haven't 2 kicks and are inside 50. Neitz and Martin. Give back Neitz. Takes it and over the top. Chance for Vardy. Goes through in between 2 and finishes. Well, you talk direct football about the Roos. Very good from the Demons. 2 kicks inside 50. Neats it with the contest. Vardy with the finish.
And it's what they failed to do in the first quarter, and they also struggled to do it, was get the ball in nice and quickly to their forwards. The Kangaroos have done it well to slow it up, but on this occasion they got the ball in nice and quick, which gave their forwards every chance.
So the Demons get in the opening goal of the second quarter, and the margin is back to 3. White, Robbins, Powell. So much at stake here today. A win will take either Melbourne or the Kangaroos into the semi-final. Robert, the forward structure for the Demons.
Well, the Demons have loaded the goal square. They've got players down there. They're trying to give Russell Robertson space at centre-half forward on Glenn Archer.
The other thing is, if the ball goes over their head, Archer's running into traffic. So if he's ever going to be tested, he will be tested with 4 Demon forwards running at him.
Plenty of players around the ball. Sinclair with the clearance. Robbins, Petrie. Now Lamb's left rocker is at the backside, but he can't run. He bustles hard, the big man, he's got it. He had the handball. Corey Jones, and the Dios got through. Amazingly, a great escape there for the Demons.
Well, there was no problems with Rocker's knee there. He got onto the ball very quickly. We just see the ball rolling through players there. Really unlucky not to go through for a goal.
He wasn't keen to have a shot, though, was he? Laid off the handball. Here's Byron Pickett crunching through, and he's gone to ground, but he's up quickly. Makepeace. He misses away to the left side. Another miss for the Kangaroos. 3-6 the Roos. 3-2 the Demons. 4 points the difference. Byron with the head down. And I think he was, well, he was being a little dramatic there, Byron.
By Woden. Short. So they retain possession with Travis Johnston out of that back pocket. Demons looking to push forward. Bizzle.
Just further afield, Neitz has pushed outside the forward 50, so they've decided to get Neitz into the action. Yet to have a kick, the big fella.
So Godfrey has it. Demons still in possession, pretty much manned up all over the ground. The left footer bombs into the air. Jess Sinclair will jump, knocking away. Cameron Bruce did beautifully to take a mark. Second bite, eyes on the ball, into the middle to Wheatley, and with room, the big man will run, keeps it low and goes towards Green, over his head, and the boundary will win out. Boundary throwing, they're always a hard one to actually, even had it have got close to Green, very hard one with a Kangaroo player right on his hammer.
And with Neitz coming up the ground, Green's gone to the goal square, and in doing that, Colbert's gone to the goal square with him.
Unguarded goal square for the Roos. It comes down, Makepeace missed it. Powell, Teague, Sinclair through the traffic. All he can do. Ward, didn't keep the eyes on the ball. Then hands off to Brown, hands off Armstrong. Demons backpedal, little bit of space and room for Bizzle. Goes in long, Burton's got it.
Well, every play bar 2 players are over the forward half of Melbourne's ground, so very hard to pinpoint a pass.
And hard for Mick Martin too. Daniel Ward did a good job. Simpson there to recover the situation. Grant just bombs away for the wing. Not sure what he had in mind there. Nathan Brown improvised, but not successfully out on the full. So the Roos have got space ahead here of Corey Jones. If he can get it moving quickly to somebody leading into space, they can run. Still a lot of players behind him, so he moves it on. Sav in the middle, at the back, Petrie. He came from the side, created the contest. Morrell has got Makepeace to his left, and the goal's in front. Didn't miss that time, Digby. 4-6-30. He had a couple of misses in the first quarter against Melbourne, 3-2-20.
And Dakes, I don't know how many times we've seen this throughout the year, that there's plenty of space up in their forward half. They can either run onto the ball or there is an open goal square. No different on this occasion.
Just good to see a big fella be alert at ground level. Something that Wayne Carey did. Didn't just always rely on his marking.
Free kick
so
here.
It's a free out of the middle. Petrie did beautifully to just control the football, kept it in front. Roos able to score through Morrell. White now, and the Demons with their turn to move forward. Neitz And that's who they're waiting for. White will bomb up into the air. Needs too far off the ball. Simpson will mark. Hands off. Martin will run. Boy, now there's a sight. Mickey Martin, it's been a long time. Carried it, gets it back, and then bombs in long. Nathan Brown's there for the Demons. May see it over the line. Burton will make sure it goes over. And half-forward boundary throw-in. Back behind the play, Godfrey and Grant. Going at it, Burton down. Grant smothered.
Oh, he's kicked that into Spider's face.
Sinclair around the body, and Brown should mark and does. So draws to Johnson. They need an option, big option. Oh, Makepeace will come right. They're looking for Neats, Melbourne. Makepeace will run. Chance now. Archer with plenty of time. Players in support. Neats in pursuit. He moves in. Rocker's got it. So big save. I don't know what the knee's like. He goes short. Normally he would have shot, and David King will take a mark.
I reckon that's the third or fourth time that Rocker's actually taken a mark outside the 50, so he's not scared to come up the ground and leave the space behind him.
David King, I'm not sure. That's 4 at the moment. Grant, as you called it, Rob.
Yeah, that kick hit Spider right in the face.
So David King.
Good kick by Archer, then a good kick by Big Sab to set this up.
Goal-kicking midfielder. Tends to love him on the run. A chance from about 40. Have to work for this one. This is not a clear-cut shot. 40-degree angle. And King, it goes up and across goal. Jeff White will be paid the mark. It's funny that Corey Jones was the only Roo player down there. Had to contest against Sroot. It wasn't 15, as called by the umpire. Robertson across, and Johnson walks across for a minor score.
Good signs by the Kangaroos. Pressure in their forward half, not allowing Melbourne to run the ball out.
2 players matched up together, Steve. Adam Simpson has moved on to Uze. Uze's had 9 kicks, no handballs, but they've been very effective.
Effective kick into Powell. Wheatley had to adjust his direction. Brown loves to run into the space. Neats has got away this time. He's finally got clear of Mickey Martin. He didn't kick a goal against Mick Martin when they played back in round 9. A wonderful effort. Mick struggled last week against West Coast, against Big Troy Wilson, and some wondered whether he'd have the job on David Neats.
I think he was wanting Ben Robbins to run back onto that as well.
Or into
the support. He wasn't too happy with that big Mick.
So he needs to punish him here, David Neats. Important kick for the confidence of the Demons, and that helps. So David Neats gets his first, and Melbourne back within 5 points.
Well, Rob, the big difference there was the ease of the ball coming out of the Melbourne defence, able to get the ball into the Melbourne's forward half very quickly, which gave Neats every chance.
Yeah, it was just the perfect bit of play, Steve, and that's what the Demons like to do. They like to take the ball from half-back or wing, get the short kick into the centre corridor, and then that player on the burst to put it to Neats on the lead.
So Neats with his first. James McDonald now going with Brett Harvey coming off the members' side wing. White forward. Robbins stole it across the body. All players waiting for it. Harding will run onto it. Right in pursuit is Wheatley. Does beautifully to dispossess him, and then will go to the boundary. So Lee Harding, once that ball's in front, Sauce, he is dangerous. Once he gets hold of it.
He is dangerous, but Wheatley did that exceptionally well. Could have easily fallen into his back.
Ex-teammate of mine, David Cloak.
In son Jason.
Yep. Remember a prelim the prize. Uze.
Gee, are they, Dax? I didn't know.
No, just in case you weren't aware, Hutto. Well, how's your team going?
Collingwood's first finals win in 12 years, Dakes. You played in the last one, the grand final.
Yeah.
Well done.
That shut him up, didn't it?
Thanks, Rob.
I was barracking for the pies, actually.
Ball comes in, Burton.
Because they played Essendon.
Geez, I'd like to see evidence of that. Robbins does well through the traffic and inside 50. Bizzle with courage. Rocker there for the contest. Wheatley will run back onto it. Rocker back onto him.
Someone's down for Melbourne.
So well done, Sab Rocker. Did well. Did it get to the line? The Demons through Bruce will make sure it did.
And Bizzle's a play that's down.
Well, he showed a lot of courage.
Got crunched, didn't he, going back in that marking contest. Stood his ground. They came from everywhere, the two big men, Petrie and Sav.
So the ball back into play. Here's Harding darting around. Couldn't finish it, but it could still be a Roos mark Makepeace. Courageous grab. But he could convert here. And once again, the Roos would just be a goal and a half ahead, which has been the margin for most of the day so far.
It was a courageous mark, but also to his teammates who just held their opponents off. He knew he was going to be protected by his teammates. We just see here on screen those Kangaroo players gave him every chance to run with confidence.
So Troy Makepeace, who we've seen follow Steve Powell for much of the day so far, has found himself much further down the ground than usual.
Russell Robertson off Hutto, only had 3 touches, not very happy at all.
Makepeace has kicked 3 goals, 5 for the year. And he gave the goal up by some work, but he's got the result he was after. The president likes it, and the Roos lead by 11.
A good example, and we'll have a look at the mark of Makepeace. That is a hard ball to mark because they're coming from everywhere. Look at him, eyes only for the footy. He takes the whack, and that's typical Kangaroos. Earlier this quarter, the Demons didn't go for the ball with the same sort of application, and in the end, it can make or break you.
So Troy Makepeace with his first. He's been one of the better players on the ground so far. 15, just under 15 minutes, second quarter. And no team really able to double up on goals at the moment.
Let's get down to Christy Malthouse for more on Russell Robertson.
Russell Robertson is not happy with himself or to be off. He's sitting on the bench with his arms folded. He hasn't even hopped up to do a cool-down lap yet, so certainly not a happy boy.
So White, Burton used his body down. Robbins takes it, hands off through the traffic. King out wide, so they're just pushing the ball forward. Makepeace has been good. Did he have it? He got rid of it in the end, and he'll get a free. Fair enough. Robbins looks like he had that problem a couple of weeks ago with the shoulder, so Ben Robbins holding the shoulder. They're in long, need another goal just to double up, really put the pressure on the Demons. Lamb's there, loose ball. Simpson trying to do the right thing, push it forward, off the ground. Johnston doing his work in defence at the moment. They have to push forward to this football, Demons.
That's what they've got to do. Run and carry, have a bounce.
Well, they're trying to do that now, right? Green having to wait. Out wide, Warder will run onto this. Teague has to chase him and retard. Great pressure at the moment from the Roos. King's there, Vardy has him, and we will get a ball up.
Robbins is gone.
Team not to have had an opportunity, King, and he hurt that shoulder a couple of weeks ago.
This is it. He gets pinned. He couldn't brace himself for that crash into the ground because his arms were pinned. The aggressive tackle was what hurt him.
So ball comes down. Big Spiders wrapped up this time. And Ward was a man for the Demons and a ball up.
Sorry, Dax. Let's get down to Brad McEwen for more on Ben Robbins.
Yeah, thanks, Hutto. Ben Robbins in the wars. He's landed very awkwardly on his shoulder. He's in a lot of pain down there on the bench. He hurt his ankle earlier, so he's certainly been in the wars today. He doesn't look too good at all. The other worry is Corey Jones. He's been getting a lot of work on his knee, so he might be in a bit of trouble too.
Jones missed a lot of footy mid-year. That doesn't look like a great kick off the boot from Sinclair. Gee, it just stayed in. And what was it, a mark?
Touched the line. 2 bites at it.
Cameron Bruce for the Demons. Troy Makepeace is the leading possession winner on the ground with 13. Shannon Grant's had 12 and Simpson 11, Sinclair 10. Here's Burton back towards the line, and Sinclair takes it over for the Demons. Brown with 12 possessions, Uze 11 and Jeff White 9.
The hit-outs are 16-12 in favour of Melbourne, but the Kangaroos have certainly worked their way back there through the big spider.
Liam Kelly will have a big role to play now. Through the middle, Ward clearing the path for Woden. David King, hammer and tong as you would expect. Demons win out though. Ward got it through the maze. Watch out, just got the kick away into the forward pocket. Uze loves these. He loves these. Adam Uze off the left, and the Demons hit back. Well, James McDonald was under siege. He just got his kick away in time. Uze kicks the goal. 5-2 Melbourne, 5-7 the Kangaroos.
And what a goal it was. Neitz really should have taken the mark, but Uze off one step, a left foot goal. That is all class.
Yes, and Adam Simpson would be disappointed with that. He's had the close down job on Uze. Doesn't handball much. 11 kicks, 1 handball. Just noticed in the ruck work, Big Spider's been directing it to his teammates where White hasn't.
So White up. Powell through the traffic. Uze. Inside 50 they move. Quick hands. Williams it was. Over the ball and wrapped up his teeth. And a little bit of pressure coming from the Demons now. At least they are able to win it out of the middle. And Adam Uze with that last goal putting to shame a few of the players that have missed a few set shots. And one thing that has been lacking in this game is it has been goal for goal. Just teams being able to really put some scoreboard pressure on and double up. Woden around the body. Martin and Neitz. It wasn't Neitz, it was Ward who does beautifully. Colbert now. Oh, he's in trouble. It's a goal.
He went to sleep.
It is. It's a goal. Put him up. No, he hasn't. What's going on?
It's a goal.
And, well, they talked him into it, Demons. And Lee Colbert. Great pressure coming from Melbourne. The loose ball, Green finishes.
I don't think they talked him into it. They just couldn't talk him out of it.
Steve, should Mick have hit this through for a rush behind?
There's no
Colbert.
Probably he wasn't in the position. Maybe he was fronting the boundary line, but certainly the pressure applied by the Demons was exceptional. Something they had failed to do in the first quarter. But on that occasion, on 2, maybe 3 occasions, they tried to apply a tackle.
It's quite comical, isn't it?
Really? Who would you be listening to? The umpire's saying, you make the decision. Kingy's saying it was touched. Greeny's saying, put him up.
I don't think there was any doubt it was always going to be the fingers up. No. Bang, goal.
And now the Demons are in front. All of a sudden, the pressure goes back on the Kangaroos. White to Woden, they're winning it out of the centre all of a sudden. Colbert, the pressure's on, and he stands up beautifully.
He's got enormous courage, Colbert.
That was good out of the middle for the Demons. That's where they have to take hold of it with Jeff White.
Got Sinclair, who made a bit of a meal of it, but was in the space. He's got nothing further ahead. He's gone for Petrie versus Wheatley. One-hander was all Petrie could offer. Woden, who's suddenly come into the game. This is Bizzle. Neitz waits to make his lead. He's still in the goal square as Johnston looks for him. Zeroes in on the captain and hits him on the chest.
They moved it beautifully. They worked it. One of the rare times, Rob, they've been able to run with the football, take the Roos on, draw a player, and they had players in support.
Just reckon the Demons are starting to run and carry, Steve. Get the handball going. They've had 54 handballs to this stage. Kangaroos 45. We know the Kangaroos don't run and carry that much. They like to kick it long, but confidence is coming. Important kick this, because if they can get a couple of quick goals in a row, the confidence will soar.
The tide has turned at the MCG. Seven points, the Demons lead. They've kicked the last 3. They've kicked 5 goals to 2 for the quarter, and they lead by 7.
Well, finally they're starting to find some space to be able to run the ball, and particularly space in their forward half, and this man's starting to come into the play and really provide a presence up forward. David Neitz for his 2nd goal.
Another thing all important, they're running it in. That kick was only 30 metres to Neitz and not 50.
Jolly on, Wally off.
You just wonder about that one, Steve, because White's last hit out was so effective, but they brought young Jolly on.
So loose ball, Harvey. The Roos need a goal just to hold the Demons back. Well done, Rawlings. Sinclair through the traffic, evades one, then gets it out, so he did well to retain it. Cochran around the body, it's a mark to the Roos. Rawlings, play on.
Was touched.
No one home to square. Lamb had to smother it, he did. Bizzle, hands off, and Lamb did the work there, didn't let the ball pass. So Demons on the march again. That's a beautiful kick. Plenty of room out here. Liam Chally. Have a look at the run now from the Demons. Johnson moves in and Neats. He's got the set. He's got it. He has got it.
Just saw him get off Mick Martin. He had plenty of time, Steve. You'd know as a fullback, horrible situation when the other team are bringing the ball forward without any opposition pressure on them.
And particularly when they carry the ball through the middle of the ground nice and quickly. The forward has every option, every direction, and as a fullback, very tough to stop.
So David Neats has two. And boy, have the Demons taken over this game in the last 7 minutes of football. Neats with a chance for his third. It's a line ball and minor score. So David Neats, very dangerous at the moment. The use of the ball's better. They're running it into half forward, and so they're not having to kick at 50. Those little 30-metre kicks, which are a lot easier to find someone.
So the Roos able to bring it in successfully. Glenn Archer. Might ask you about him in a minute, Rob, and whether you think he's 100% fit, the impact he's having. Makepeace linking up with Vic Porter. You can see how long it took him to get him onto the boot. From behind, Sav just mistimed it. Harding, will he get clear? Was he legged? All those questions unanswered. Behind, Wheatley has got blistering pace if he can stay with Lee Harding. It was Cameron Bruce this time, in fact.
Well, the Melbourne team would know that they leave that space behind their forwards to run onto, and certainly Bruce knew on that occasion that he had to make the yardage up.
So Green and the Demons move forward. Too high. Should have been a free to the Demons. Not paid. Teague through the traffic. And it was Luke Williams that was grabbed a little bit high. Glenn Archer.
Yeah, Glenn Archer, I think, has done pretty well, Hutto. He played on Russell Robertson for most of the first half. Robertson hardly touched the ball. He was then taken from the field.
See, Ben Robbins is back on the ground. That's a great effort after he looked like he was gone with that shoulder.
So King running back towards the Demon goal. Hands off to the running Martin. So Mick will take a bounce. He'll take his second bounce, and he's in big trouble. Oh, Noakes has picked him up. Play allowed to go on. Archer dribbles it out. Well done, Liam Chally. Neats down there after having chased. Long by Wheatley. They'll jump in here. Uze! Keep it low. It's a goal. Uze has number 2. Well, how would Mickey Martin be feeling? He had possession, took 2 bounces, lost it, and the Demons have ended up scoring.
I reckon when he took the first bounce, Stakes, we all thought, come on, Mick, that's not your go. Just kick the big helicopter punt will do. And he's gone for the second bounce, mucked it up, rebounded. You make a mistake in finals footy, you pay the ultimate penalty. And poor old Mickey, bad luck.
Yeah, well, wasn't that a free kick though, Mick? Though, I mean, they were hanging on to him.
I thought he was unlucky not to get the free.
Oh, you're the president of the Fullback Association.
Who are you related to?
So Woden out of the middle. Archer, Harvey. The team is starting to win all the contests now. Green didn't look, just got it in there quickly to David Neats. Johnston to lend a hand. If he can get clear, there's Demons everywhere. Varney, it's your turn. And he made sure of it. He made sure of it. That's his second. They are on the rampage, the Demons at the MCG. 7 goals in the quarter, and it's not over yet. The margin is 19.
Well, you've just got to wonder how Travis Johnson got down there without an opponent, because he was the one who created it.
What does he do? What does Dennis Pagan do?
Well, Jess Sinclair is on Rob, on Travis Johnston.
Yeah, I think at this late stage of the quarter, you probably put a couple of extra back and you just wait till half-time, Steve. Stop the flood of goals.
So how do the Roos stop the Demons? It is all Melbourne at the moment. It's another free to Melbourne out of the middle. Jolly will take it. Has players sitting in behind looking for the possession. That's where he goes. At the feet of Uze, no chance. He dropped it in the end. Bruce there to mop up. Back to Jolly, trying to make amends. Bizzle. Short. Bruce. The defender ready to wind up. No one at half forward there is. Travis Johnson will take it. Demons again move forward, looking for another. Vardy will come out. That's a good kick. and not able to mark it. Takes the sting off. Powell through the traffic, wrapped up Teague.
Couple of great efforts. Archer's effort to get back, and also Teague's tackle.
The spectre of Glenn Archer coming at you, enough for anyone.
Look at the tackle count in this second quarter. It just shows the ferocity with which the Demons are playing at the moment.
And they've even bridged the hard ball gets. Melbourne 15, Kangaroos also 15.
So Armstrong the Ward into the middle. Wheatley all on his own, or Martin wasn't too far away. Harvey did well to hold his ground. Colbert out of danger. So the run is on. Pickett and Wheatley. Have a look at Wheatley go. Well done, Byron. Pickett took him off the line, but he was swamped in the end. Stephen Armstrong in the area did well to get back. McDonald. So they handball, working it into space again. Bruce, and this is where they've been destructive. Travis Johnson, use of the body's got it.
One of the things about the Demons, Dakes, as they go forward, they are looking always to find a teammate, so they will often prop with the footy, wait, then share it sideways if they have to, rather than just bomb it forward. Confidence in their teammates to run from behind so that they've got an option to go sideways. Byron Pickett coming off the ground, I wouldn't be at all surprised if it's because he went to ground in that important contest on the far wing.
Just the one disposal for Pickett.
Johnson with another opportunity, and he misses it, goes to the right. So all Melbourne at the moment, 5-8 was a Kangaroo score, 9-4, and they lead by 20 points. They've taken over in midfield, and they've certainly taken over the scoreboard.
I think the beauty of that last piece of play, they had numbers, Rob. Wherever they looked, they had numbers to support each other.
Harvey, as he so often does, kicks the ball to himself and then goes looking, searching for Porter, but in the road, Jolly. And he's playing some important minutes here, allowing Jeff White to rest. Oh, just made it tough for Powell. Green doesn't go for goal as he timed it well. Vardy arriving on the scene. Leoncelli, free kick.
Gee, made him earn it, Vardy. He's a hard man.
50, is it?
He's a good player, Vardy.
Yep. So this is a chance for the Kangaroos just on half-time. They've got 50.
Yeah, good play by Makepeace to hold his ground. He knew he'd get crunched, knowing Vardy was coming from behind.
Important usage here for the Roos. He's got Teague through the middle of the ground, and he takes them on. Path opened up for him, so he goes along. Jolly's pushed back to help Rocker. Mistimed his judgment. Harvey, he's a specialist in this situation, but even he couldn't get clear. Ooh, decided to keep it alive. I think that's a better result for the Roos because there's plenty of Demons around. 20 points the margin, 30 minutes gone. Second quarter.
Well, Shannon Grant has been quite a way Woden with the job there. So ball comes in, thump forward, Jolly wrong direction. Bizzle does well to mop up, and outside the 50, running on Uze after help by the Simpson slip into half forward. Green will mark.
20 seconds to go in the quarter, Dave.
So into the middle of the ground they have Johnston, missed by Green. He moves to Neitz. It'll bounce. Mickey Martin loves it here because he'll allow the ball to run over the line. And he had a player inside, all on his own. Brad Green, Travis Johnson had run forward again on his own. So as time ticks down, no one home in the goal square. Vardy will push it on that left foot, kicks a point.
So the kick's 7-3 for the quarter, Robert. They've had three chances that were gettable, weren't they?
Oh, look, they're running their share out of defence through the midfield, then they square it into the middle corridor, then they get their head up and they look for Green, they look for Neitz, they look for Vardy. Been a very, very solid quarter by the Demons.
What a wonderful turn by Melbourne. And the Melbourne fans, the members at the MCC, at the MCG and the MCC stand will feel on very good terms with themselves as they head to get the pies or the cucumber sandwiches at half-time, Steve.
Oh, great quarter by Melbourne, the 7-goal quarter, and really set up in the middle of the ground by their ruckman, Jeff White. Uze was in terrific form. Travis Johnson also found a lot of the ball, but their hardness at the ball was probably more so evident than the Kangaroos, and they've really set themselves up to have a real chance of winning this game.
Fox Footy Channel and this...
Time for some more Sports Rider. And Steve, you're in charge this time.
Yes, we have an incident involving Jess Sinclair and Johnston here, Travis Johnson. We just see the space that Jess Sinclair has given Travis Johnson. You need to respect your opponent there. And we just see Travis Johnson here out wide. Sinclair over there. Well, this is what happens when you give Travis Johnson so much space. Your back half, your fabric.
It's from Melbourne before the break. Now let's get down and hear about the Kangaroos. Brad McEwen.
Yeah, thanks, Anthony. Ben Robbins is
Byron Pickett, he's had one possession. Would you think about throwing him back?
I would keep him up forward. I think his days of playing as a defender are gone. He's too loose. You know, in the forward line, he can kick goals in a burst, but they need to get something from their taller forwards. We know that Big Sab's struggling with injury, but Morrell, Petrie, maybe Archer if they put him forward. And it's a situation where the run of the Demons in the last 20 minutes of that second quarter just ran over the top of the Kangaroos.
Rob, what about with Pickett if he starts as a forward, but in general play actually moves to the back line and then comes down with the football? Because at the moment he's just not finding it with his back to goal.
No, he's not. Maybe you're right, Dakes. Maybe if he plays as a winger, gets himself out in a bit of space so that he can turn around and then run towards goal. That's when he's dangerous, isn't he? When the goals have opened up. At this stage, it looks like he's going into the forward line.
How about just some run for the Roos at the moment? It just seems that the running is with Melbourne out of defence. The Roos, anything they could do just to get a little bit of run and flow going?
Just having a look at their centre setup, and it looks like Sinclair could be starting in the midfield with Harvey and Simpson. Now, that's something that we haven't seen for some time. Jess Sinclair, and Stephen pointed it out terrifically well. He was just far too loose. He owes his team a good second half. He's been in good form on the half-back flank, but just didn't pay enough respect to Johnson in that second quarter.
The Kangaroos have been through so much this year. It would be a shame if they would go out without a whimper. I'm sure they won't. They will fight back. 21 points is the margin as we start this second half. Demons going forward. Blakey careful, watching. Archer still in defence. Green hasn't had a lot of it today. Williams trying to get it through to Brad Green. But we're going to see a bounce. Brad Green's actually had 11 possessions, so probably being a bit unfair on him. He's kicked one goal.
Makepeace with the job on Adam Uze.
So the Demons in the first minute of the second half. And Walsh, who spent a fair bit of time on the bench in the first half, combining with Ward. Back out to Uze. From one step, Nietzsche's looming again. He just got himself under the ball. Lee Harding in unfamiliar territory, well up the ground in defence, and does pretty well on that occasion. The ball over and out.
And as a forward, you really should be following your teammate, the forward, to the ball. Wolsey?
Yes, and James McDonald, 23 for the Demons, running with Brent Harvey. Harvey, 10-11 disposals in the first half.
Blakey, helped out by Sinclair. Gee, tough one to mark that. Wheatley led Petrie to the ball. Good pressure from Rawlings, but McDonald able to regain it for the Demons. Petrie, again McDonald, gets it in. Uze, Robertson, just not his day at the moment. Spider, how about that for a powerful handball? Woden running through the lines. White gone, was it high? Yes, it was high. Colbert just a little too eager there.
Test him this distance, Hutto.
And it's good to see Jeff White across half forward.
Yeah.
He's not a big goal kicker. Oh, how did Uze get away? That is amazing. Uze has got away. He's a bit hurt, but he's certainly within range. He carved them up last time they played. He had 33 possessions, kicked 2 goals, and was the match winner. And he's doing it again today. He's had 17 possessions and 2 goals already.
We just saw the free kick there, but Uze, as you said, Hutto, far too loose, and the Kangaroos fabric just breaking down a little bit.
Well, a goal here, and the margin would be out to 27.
Well, Uze kicked 2 goals in that second quarter, and he's, as we know, he's just a lovely left foot kick. You would expect him to kick this one 9 out of 10.
16 goals, 11 for the year going into today. And after all that build-up, Wolsey, he was certain to miss it. 9 goals, 660 to 5-8-38. So the Kangaroos are let off there, and let's see what they do.
Just keeping my eye on